Hello, 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 Virginia's virtual viewers. We are excited to be here, and I just wanted to say happy holidays. We are featuring the legendary Miss Denise Pettet, and I met her on my United Airlines flight. It seems like decades ago, and United was having a little bit of issues, but I maintained my composure and I took care of not just her, but her family also. And as they say, the rest is history. And we've been friends and my beauty consultant now for years. And I'm so grateful because I know beauty actually starts from the inside out. And you are what you eat. And biblical principles in Matthew 4:4 says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of the mouth of the Lord. So I am grateful to be here. And this remarkable woman, not only is she vibrant and mosaic, she actually has led the Ladies of Legacy in one remarkable year almost $500,000 in retail sales. But before her Mary Kay journey and her leading her Ladies of Legacy, she had an eventful, embraceful, and fulfilled life. And I just want her to touch on that. Her bio is extensive, from entertainment to the director and the winner of a pink Cadillac. But I know my Virginia virtual viewers want the tips for the eyes and the lips. But we're going to actually go through this and introduce the legendary Miss Denise Pettet. Tell us when you made that decision after all the accomplishments in your life that you decided, what I say, take the Mary Kay way, the Mary Kay blueprint.
Well, first off, Virginia, let me just say what an honor it is to be here with you. I love you so much, and I am so grateful that, it says that God orders our steps, and he puts those people in our life if we just open our eyes and let him lead. And I feel that's what happened when we met you. And I remember that time so clearly. We were on a flight, and I love to fly. And things were a little different back then anyway. Things were not quite, the same as they are today. And Virginia was so helpful because I remember, what I needed was just basically some water to wash my hands. And I didn't know what to do in the lavatory. It was broken, and she poured open. She said, I'll take care of that. And she quickly opened a bottle of water and helped me with that. And then my family. So I am grateful that God just allowed that little thing to happen so that we became friends. And then I was just so impressed by her heart. And I watched how she interacted with everyone on the airplane and helped to just made everyone feel so special and so like that they were the only person that she was their personal attendant. And so I just that really drew me into her, and I said, I want to get to know her. And so I boldly said, and introduced myself and got her number, and she was so gracious to give it to me. And then we connected, and as you say, the rest was history. So thank you. The honor is all mine. And okay, so as far as my life, yes, I actually I went to college for speech pathology, learning disability specialist. I opened a school, had a school for when it wasn't really popular, and I would do private therapy, a school for preschoolers, and in early intervention back in the 70s. And I loved doing that. So for 20 years, I did that. And all along the way, having our church choir I loved music. And so church choir, a young adult choir, children's choir, everything, Sunday school teacher, all of the things, and just fulfill life. And then had my first daughter. And then, of course, she became interested in some things that she wanted to do. And so we went down the avenue at that point of she wanted to try out for a Broadway show. So she did. And of course, I was a little cautious, and I said, "Listen, this is something that we have to know that it's very difficult, but God had other plans, and He allowed her to get the first show that she auditioned for, which was Annie." Which is every little girl's dream. And so that took me on a different journey. And I felt God pulling me into that direction, of course, of being with her, traveling with her, and being there for her momager, to be there to protect her and guide her. So our life took that path. And then during that time, we travel with, big name people as far as what the world would say. And I learned so much on that journey traveling. And truth be known, Virginia, I think I've told you this before. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a flight attendant. That was my dream. I thought that that would be great. But back then there was a height requirement. So I did not meet that. I'm like a half an inch. And so God allowed me to do travel through that journey of that Broadway shows and that sort of thing. And then after we came home and she went to college and different things happened, and then I started realizing that, I wanted something to do, but I didn't really know what it was. And so simultaneously, I was turning decades, different clock was turning, and I wanted something good skincare. And I had very sensitive skin and a lot of allergies. And so I was trying different things. And I just heard about Mary Kay, but had never tried it. And I decided to explore. And when I did, it solved, I was able to use the product without any issues. And so that took me on a journey of exploration. And I figured that, look, I am going to, be able to be in the business so that I can really just know what I'm doing. And what happened is that opened up a whole new world of being able to really what is my heart, and that is to help women to feel good. We've all been through things, and a journey of life, and it helped me to realize that that's where I love to help people, and I love to spread God's word. He says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Each one of us has a different fingerprint. No two people are alike. Everyone has a uniqueness about them. Even though we're same and we go through some similar journeys, we're all different. And that's what's so beautiful. We're all meant to discover who we are. And that's how it comes together. I don't know if you know the story, but there's a thing called ragu pottery. Are you familiar with that, Virginia?
Ragu pottery. This is the first time.
Well, let me tell you a beautiful story then very quickly. And ragu pottery is where, we talk about the broken pieces of our lives, and we've all gone through, whether it be, maybe a death in the family, maybe it's financial issues, maybe it's just a heartbreak of something else, but whatever it might be, there's broken pieces of our life. Well, just like a ragu pottery, what happens is the potter and the artist takes the broken pieces of a beautiful piece of pottery, and he starts to put the pieces back together, and he takes a gold overlay and puts over each piece of the brokenness on the pottery. And so by the time it's done, it's a beautiful, unique piece of pottery it's unique, and it's worth much more than it would be if it was just one solid piece of pottery. And that's what our Father God does to us. He takes our broken pieces and he overlays his gold, his love, his joy, his peace, his comfort to us. And he makes our broken pieces all come together. So when Mary Kay helps me to be able to have an opportunity to sit with women, and, whether they be a young woman, a teenager, whether it be someone who is, up in years, it doesn't matter. I always say from 13 to 113. And at that opportunity, we're able to converse and talk and share, and so that we can share and just support each other and be able to say, look, it doesn't matter how broken you are. You can confide in me, and we can bring this to the foot of Jesus, and we can talk about, a way to make you feel beautiful. Because as you said in the beginning, Virginia, beauty is on the inside. Listen, makeup is what I do. Skincare is what I do. But here's what the real deal is. The real deal is that your beauty is on the inside. You could have beautiful makeup and still be broken and hurting on the inside and not feeling very beautiful. So my goal is to bring that feeling of beauty. And it could be, sometimes people just want a minimalist look, maybe a lip gloss and a eyeshadow or a mascara. Sometimes people want a full glam or both. So it's not necessarily about that. It's the opportunity to make them feel good with who they are and their uniqueness. And that's why I love what I do. And now also God has also added into my life a great opportunity. I've been singing and performing with my daughter, Ashley, and we travel and sing and perform, and now we're adding in some dance, which is that's a stretch for me. I mean, I can move, but I'm talking about, my daughter is a phenomenal dancer. And so for me to step into that, pardon the pun, has been a little bit of a challenge. But I know that blessing people and learning through that journey of that just helping everyone to feel good about themselves and who they are. Because don't we do the game of comparison? Especially in this socially aware world of social media, and remember, we are comparing our worst lives and our worst moments to someone else's best, or at least best what they're portraying on the internet. And so that comparison can really deflate our confidence, and it's just not reality. And that's not what God calls us to do. You cannot work in your greatness if you're not feeling in your most confident. And that's what I love to let them know. Look, I'm not perfect, and perfection is not the goal, because you just lay it at the feet of the cross, and He is the one who will work all those pieces together to make that beautiful, beautiful tapestry. You use the word tapestry of life. And and Virginia, I know that watching you and your journey, I have loved that, because everything, nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. When you go through things, God can take that and He can make a message out of your mess. I know He has for me. And, going through a lot of things, there's not enough time for me to tell you the things of, growing up and difficulties and things that are, challenges overcoming. I have a special needs sister. My dad passed away early at 48. My mom was diabetic, sickly a lot with comas. I was in a coma myself for 3 days when we didn't expect me to live. So there's a lot of things that God can take and make a message out of what you have if you just put it into the hands of the potter. So,
wow, that is powerful. All I can say is the acronym of Wings of Wisdom. Wow, wow, wow. So I am so grateful that you were able to actually take that story and actually tie it into your lives. And our viewing audience, I know that you feel like that too. I felt like that with the death of my father. Then I had the death of my mother and the death of my brother. So you feel so broken. And then, when something happened in the world like COVID, which was a major shift for me, because I loved what I was doing. I was seeing God's beautiful earth. That was my childhood dream. And I was meeting wonderful people like you. And now this virtual world, to be launching this and our pathways cross again, it's a higher purpose.
yes.
And I know that's how the master works. It's his purpose, and everything should be done for his glory. So I am grateful that you recognize that he is the center and the core of your being. And that's why you're able to achieve excellency in whatever you do. And it seemed like you've been achieving and embracing and emerging in excellency since childhood. And I saw it in your family on the plane. You were one of the best families that I embraced. No running water on the plane. All this was going on, but I was willing to serve my customer and make sure that you and your family was fine through the midst of everything that was going on with United at the time. And you said that, you had challenges with your shortness because you didn't meet the criteria of being a flight attendant initially. One of the airlines told me I was 5 pounds overweight. And somebody said, you should have just took a water pill. So I had to, buckle down, lose those 5 pounds and apply again. So the restrictions that they have on you.
Is that still true?
Not now. No, because it's kind of like discrimination. So they lifted a lot of that. But back in the day, there was a height requirement, there was a weight requirement, all these requirements. And that's why people have, like all these issues, because these requirements that people put on people.
Did you have to wear high heels at any point?
Yes, you had concourse shoes.
Oh,
so and then they call in-flight shoes. So I couldn't wait to get to the plane to take off my concourse, shoes, so that I could put on my in-flight shoes, so that I could serve my customers in comfort.
I remember when I would fly from, I was originally born in Alabama. And so when I came to Jersey, we would fly back and forth all the time to see my family. And they would serve us in a plate with silverware, real glasses, everything, food, cooked. I don't know how they did it in such a short 2.5-hour flight, but it was, you got on the plane, you sat down, you felt like you were in a nice restaurant. Now, throw in the peanuts.
Absolutely. I'm glad I was able to embrace that.
Yes.
The carved roast and, the Don Perignon. I'm happy, the caviar. I'm happy that I got in and COVID shift. And I'm grateful. I have a real close flight attendant friend. She told me, get out and do something with your voice. And I'm glad that I was able to take that advice and coach after coach be able to launch this and feature people like you. Because you're a legend in your area. But I know my viewers are saying, just a few beauty tips. And I know that the cleansing for me, because I would learn how to put on the makeup as a youngster, but I had problems with my skin because I never went through the fundamentals of the cleansing routine, the day and the night routine. So how important is that?
Oh my goodness, Virginia, this is the thing. It's like, it's so important for young girls to start early. I used to, I didn't know better, but I always washed my face. They say that for every day you don't wash your face, like take off your makeup, even if you don't wear makeup, wash it, you prematurely age. Some say 14 days, some say 17 days. So you're really, that process, your skin is the largest organ on your body. So you want to cleanse, you want to wash, you want to exfoliate. And this is where I come in. I can help you to find a routine that works for, number one, what you're going to do. Because some people want to do something, but if they're not going to do it, then we have to find a way that's going to fit their lifestyle, their preferences and their budget. So this is where they can contact me. I would love to be able to do a personal complimentary for our viewers today. Absolutely routine, set up something, because that is urgently important. And then if you want to, I see that my website is there. Also, you can contact me there and just reach out and say that we met here on Wings of Wisdom with Virginia, and there's my email. You'll be able to just say, hey, listen, I would love to learn more, because really it's about it's not a one size fits all. Everyone is individual. Again, back to that uniqueness. And so we need to find out what's going on. And if your skin is in great shape, perfect. You want to keep it that way. And so we have some of the best products for the best prices on the market. And I know that, that Virginia can attest to that as well. Virginia, I would love for you to share your story that you told me that just left me breathless about your dad, and has to do with eyes, because I think having your father's eyes is just, I was literally breathless when you told me. I was telling the world. So can you share that for me?
Yes, that's why I said tips for your eyes and your lips, because I know my father's eyes. When he was passing away, his only organ that was available at the time with him was his eyes. He was able to donate those eyes, and there was a gentleman that was actually going blind. So my father's eye still lives in this man's eyes. And they asked my mother if she wanted to meet him, and she said if he wants to meet me. And that never actually transpired, but growing up as a little kid, they'd always say, you got beautiful eyes. Or if somebody on the plane would say your eyes is pretty, and I would always enhance my eyes more than any other feature because I would get those compliments. I would always tell them about my father's eyes, and people say, oh my goodness, you gave me the chills. So it would always remind me to tell the story about your daddy's eyes. So yes, my father's eyes, I have inherited those eyes. And I just think it's just a testament of, like the biblical principle, where really, as Shakespeare say, that the eyes is the window to the soul.
That's right.
Yeah, I thought it was a biblical principle, but he loves to take biblical themes. And that's, it come from Matthew 6:22,
Yes.
and that scripture actually talks about, the eyes being the light to the body. So
Yes.
looking in someone's eyes, truly, even in the medical field, they can tell what's going on in your eyes. So it's
Right.
the window to the soul, and my father's eyes lives through me. And
I
this,
mean, that is just gorgeous, because what a beautiful, deep story that is. To me, that's very meaningful, because my grandfather was totally blind. And so when you told me that, I was like, oh my goodness, that's such a beautiful marrying of, what spoke to me. And you do have gorgeous eyes. I mean, your viewers can see your smile, your eyes, because you know what? Your heart exudes through through who you are. And I love that. As far as tips go, I'm going to give just one or two little quick things, because that's where I want you to contact me so that we can talk about that. I didn't bring any of my tools with me over here, but we have brushes and we have all different things. So I'm going to give you one tip that even if, like, let's say now I have on red today because it's the holidays. So I am, really just glamming up the lips today. And so when we age, when we get a little older, we like to say more mature. It's very important. I prefer to do it naturally versus any sort of other means, such as Botox or anything. That's just my preference. So I've never had any work done or anything like that. But there's little tricks that you can do to make your lips look fuller. Now, your lips are beautifully full and you don't have that issue. But for some people, what you want to do is you want to line a little more on the outside. And we have a waterproof liner, we have a waterproof eyeliner, and a waterproof lip liner, which will help keep, and especially this red, which red bleeds like crazy, when you don't want to get it all over. And we do this for our shows when my daughter and I also are performing. So you're licking your lips a lot and talking a lot. But you can they call it baking, and you can do any form of this. It doesn't have to be this intense. A little tip, you just put a little bit, whether it's, you can get a nude liner or a color liner. There's like 14 colors. So you can check my website out for that as well. And then you just line a little bit more on the outside. Now, if you want to have like a perfect pout that you're going to be doing something, you would want to put a little bit of foundation or concealer across your lips. Have you ever done that, Virginia?
yes.
Okay. So you put that on. You would then, if you want to do layer after layer, you can do one layer, you could do 2 or 3 layers, but you would put either a foundation or a concealer. Then you would put a little bit of translucent powder, something that's going to set it lightly. You don't want to get too cakey, because then you're going to have those lines around your lips. And then you just put a little bit of the color on. If it's a gloss, then you just keep layering. If you want to just do it once, fine. It's going to hold it and keep it setting. And now also the thing about that, we have a satin lips, which is a scrubby, which is going to scrub all the dead skin off because, your skin is recreating itself every 30 days, just like, every 30 days you're regenerating your skin. And so that's where the good skincare routine comes in. But then you can just keep doing that. And they call it baking because what you're doing is you're putting layer on layer so that it's going to stay, but it's not going to feel weird. So your satin lips will help to exfoliate. We also have a lip primer. So all those things. But if you're a minimal girl, you're probably not going to do all that. You're probably just going to want to put something on that's going to stay. So then, that's an easy way to do it too. You can just put a little bit of lip gloss on and you're good to go. Eye-wise, now eyes are a little different because everyone has different shaped eyes. There's hooded eyes, there's prominent eyes, there's one that we just call, natural eyes. There's a different set of eyes. So you have to know your eye shape. That's where I can help you also figure out what your shape is and how you want to enhance that. So Virginia has beautiful eyes that can be enhanced just about any way. She can wear just about any color because of her coloring, her eye color, everything about her. So that's good. You are blessed with your everything going on there, my friend. It's easy. When someone walks in the door and they have all of that going on, I'm like, yes, because we can do just about anything. Whereas others have to watch what color, certain colors go with certain other looks better. Like some of the purples go with the green eyes and that sort of thing. Blue eyes can be a little difficult too. My eyes are more of like a hazel. So now what I have on, I have on a lot. And meaning like a more of what you would call a glam look. So I can show you here. You can see this is what they would call like a smoky eye. And it's got the white on the inside because I need to open my eyes because they're smaller eyes. They're closer together. And I wear glasses. So if you have eyes like that, you want to have something that's going to open your eyes. The other little trick is you will know that you have close set or wide set eyes. If you take your eye, like let's say the distance of this eye, let's say it's this much, and you put it in between, and if it's not one eye between there, you have close set. If you take this distance and you put it here and it's wider, you have wide set eyes. That's also going to have what you need to do, how to enhance that. Close set eyes need to put light on the inside to separate. Wider set eyes need to put darker on the inside so that it kind of brings them in a little bit. So there's all little tricks. You think everybody looks so great and they get out of bed looking like that. Not so. Not so.
Wow. Ladies, I know time is precious. If you want more tips for your eyes and your lips, we have a director, Denise Pettet. Her number here, you see it on the screen, 862-881-6346. And you have her website here also at www.marykay.com/Denise Pettet, Pettet. And also you have her Gmail, Denise Pettet, Pettet @gmail.com. So I'm glad you got your tips for your eyes and your lips. And make sure if you contact her, you say Wings of Wisdom. And we want to thank you for leaning in, listening, and learning these tips today with the legendary Miss Denise, my dear friend. I'm so grateful to feature you on Wings of Wisdom. Stay backstage and we will connect. Thanks for leaning in.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Virginia.
You are so welcome.